Hey everybody, welcome to our weekly team call. I'm Kelsey, and today we are talking about the goal of inviting. So I know a lot of times as a new coach or a coach in general, a huge sticking point is inviting other people to be a part of your challenge group or inviting other people to be a part of the coach community. And I think that's because really twofold. The biggest two reasons, I think. One, we don't want to come across as salesy. And two, we don't want to scare anyone away with our excitement. And I wanted to talk about this because I was listening to a National Wake Up Call a couple weeks ago, and the person leading it was talking about inviting and the importance of it. And it really just kind of got the ball rolling for me as to the ultimate goal of inviting. But I really have 5 goals of inviting. So they kind of go in like a flow chart. So that's what I did there. So I'm just going to go through them, and as we go, if you guys have any insight or comments, just feel free. So the first goal when you invite someone to be a part of a free group or a challenge group or the coach opportunity is to plant a seed. So this is thinking that this person that you're inviting to be a part of whatever it is, let's just say a challenge group, you're pretending that they would not ever know about this opportunity unless you told them. Do not assume they watch your stories. Do not assume that they are obsessed with you and they look at all of your posts and read all the way to the bottom. Your first goal of inviting is to plant a seed, to just let them know that something is going on. Okay, that's goal number 1. I've heard a lot of coaches use the analogy of, if you put like a birthday invitation on Facebook and said, hey, I'm having a birthday party, just like click here to RSVP anyone who wants to come, versus sending people a private message that says, hey, I'm having a birthday party on Saturday. I would love it if you came by. It would mean so much to me. I would love to celebrate with you. Here are the times or whatever. That would be much more personal to me to get a message saying, you personally, Kelsey, I want you to come, as opposed to me just scrolling by someone's, group post that says, come by if you want. The planting the seed is an important part. Goal number 2 is to build trust and a relationship. So regardless of whether or not this person even responds to your first invitation, the second goal is to build trust and a relationship, because you cannot expect people to want to work with you or to want to be a part of your challenge group or to want to be part of our coach community if they don't know you and they don't trust you, they don't have a relationship with you. So while you're inviting them, making it personal to them is important. And it's not just a cold cut kind of invite like, this group is for everyone, so I thought of you. Like, that's not very appealing, if you know what I'm saying. So building that trust, letting them know that you thought of them or why you thought of them, why you think it might be a good fit is important. And if they're not sure, we're getting to this, but, asking them, learning about their scenario, learning about their situation, learning about why it might be a good fit for them or how you can use the tools that we have from Beachbody to help them. Goal number 3 is to create interest and interaction. So this kind of goes a little bit more publicly. You've now invited this person to be a part of your challenge group. You're starting to build that trust with them. Hopefully you've gone back and forth a few times, you know a little bit about their life, and now you're creating that interest and interaction by drafting posts or talking about it in your Instagram story, about sharing publicly your journey how what you're doing is helping you become a better version of yourself, and also demonstrating how you're helping other people that might be like this person, how you've helped those other people achieve their goals or work toward their goals. Sharing that publicly is creating that interest and encouraging them to interact with you. And if you can swipe up on your stories, you can always see who has viewed, you know, like when you swipe up on your own story. And that way you can see if they watch that story, and then your follow-up message can be, hey, you know, not sure if you saw this in my stories, but in this challenge group that I told you about, this, and this are happening. Or, you know, we just celebrated goals this month and this is what happened. Or, you know, we just set our goals for June and here are some of the things that people talk about that's exactly the same as you, or, you know, whatever. You're creating that interaction with them by sharing publicly what's going on. Because some people will only know what you're doing because they watch your story. That's true. You can't assume that everyone is watching it, but some people only know because they watch your stories. Case in point, Will and I had our pregnancy announcement post. Just a post. And I shared it in my story. It was not a picture of my stomach. It was a picture of us and the dog. So unless you read the post, like, you didn't know what was going on with that. It wasn't until the next day that I was like, hey, ask me any like nosy pregnancy questions. That then I got messages from people like, oh my gosh, where was your announcement post? These people don't know because they don't read my post. They only watch my story. So you have to be public about your challenge groups and inviting and getting people to engage, because not everybody sees everything. Keep that in mind. Okay, number 4 of 5. Learn about their goals. This is a goal of inviting, is for you to learn about other people. Because when you invite them, if they say no, it's a perfect opportunity for you to ask more questions if you haven't been asking questions already. So even in your invitation, you can say, hey, this is going on. I thought of you, but wanted to see if it's a good fit. What kind of goals are you doing or setting? Or what kind of programs have you been doing? Or, you know, how has your nutrition been? Learning about other people is going to help you invite them to the right kind of challenge group, because maybe you're not leading a challenge group for that person right now. Maybe you're leading a challenge group that's based on nutrition, and this person already works with their doctor because they have a special nutrition plan for diabetes or something. Well, then your group might not be for them, so don't invite them to it. You have to learn about people to know if it's a fit. If you're leading a group that's specifically about, you know, dance fitness, and everyone in there is doing different dance cardio, and this person has no interest in that at all, they're not going to be a good fit. So the 4th goal is to learn about other people's goals when you invite them. And also to, along with that, when you're asking them questions, inspire confidence in them. That when they respond to you, either you relate to what they're going through or what they're saying, or someone in your challenge group relates to what they're saying. And you can convey that to them and inspire confidence in them to be a part of what you have going on, because no one knows what you have going on until they're a part of it. They can't say, oh yeah, I've done 1,000 things just like this before, because they haven't worked with you before. So inspiring that confidence in them to get started is a big part of it. Last one, number 5. This is the ultimate goal, is to have a new challenger or a new coach on your team. So I put this one last because I think it's important to recognize that most people, in my experience, do not say yes on the first invite. It's like the 3rd, the 4th year that they say, yeah, okay, I think I'm ready. I don't know what it is about 2020, but it's literally been happening to me at least once or twice a month, that someone I haven't talked to in like 6 months that's been turning me down and turning me down and turning me down, just will randomly message me and be like, hey Kelsey, so I'm ready to hear about like what your challenge group is. That doesn't happen unless all the things that we just talked about have been going on prior to. People are not just going to pop up in your inbox and say, hey, I watched your story yesterday and I know you don't know me, but I want to be in your group. Like, that's not practical. Maybe that happens for you and that's like a unicorn challenger, but most of the time that's not how it works. You have to understand that when you're inviting people, you're not just looking for new challengers and coaches. You're trying to do all these other important steps to get to know them, because you don't necessarily want to work with somebody or have somebody on your team that you don't like. And you don't know that until you get to know them, as well. So hopefully this makes a little bit of sense to you guys in terms of inviting isn't just the end goal of making a sale or getting somebody on your team. The goal of inviting is really to build your community and encourage people to get started, but learn about their goals and really try and include them in the process instead of just saying, this is what you need and let me tell you why. Help them to discover why they need your challenge group, why they need you as a coach, why they need this business opportunity. If you help lead them there, it's going to feel more like their decision than you telling them what to do. If that makes sense. Anybody have any comments or questions or things to add about any of those goals of inviting, or any other goals to add that were not mentioned?
I would just say the first one, that like planting the seed, has been killer for me right now, because I really haven't done much reaching out and inviting and doing like the initial right now. But a lot of people have reached to me that I like spoke to 6 months ago or whatever, and like are asking me about it. So I've done a lot of business that way because I planted the seed a long time ago.
Yeah, that's huge. And that is why I listed it first, because that's the very first goal of inviting. If you never offer it to them, then they may never know that it exists. And to me, I'm always shocked when I message someone and I'm like, hey, I have this going on. And they're like, what? I had no idea that you even do that. I'm like, do you follow me or do you follow me? Like, what do I talk about constantly? Like, and if they're just like, whoosh. So those people, I'm reminded, if I don't offer, they're never going to know. So you go into it that way, just don't have any preconceived notions, which is difficult. You kind of build up in your mind, these are the reasons why this person is about to turn me down. Don't do that. You're just planting a seed, Anybody else, anything to add? Sorry, Emma, I muted you. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's the struggle. It's nothing really constructive because it's not positive, but I guess I should say I'm thankful for like what you said, because it is difficult to get rejected. And I mean, you all know, but I think it's frustrating when like all you're trying to do is help and people are just so flaky, and you're just like, I can't keep messaging you. Like, if you're not going to respond, like, I can't, because I sent you 3 messages, and I think there's like an etiquette somewhere that you should be done, and it's just like, okay, but you were interested and now you're not, Does that make sense?
No, totally makes sense. I saw, I don't know, a quote somewhere, and I wrote it down because every once in a while it pops up in my like business tracker. And the quote is just work with the working. So if people are going to be flaky, then don't waste your time. Like, there are other people that do want to take advantage of what you have to offer, and those are the people that need your time and attention, not this, one fly that keeps buzzing around and leaving.
Right. Yeah.
It makes total sense. And it's frustrating because you feel like, yay, you have all this hope, and then this person just like,
peace out, never to be heard from again.
Been there 1,000 times.
Yeah,
for sure.
I believe that.
And a lot of people would just say you kind of have to bless and release those people. Like, okay, this wasn't for you. So Godspeed in whatever you decide to do. And if it really is important to them, they'll come back to you because they see what you're doing and they see your consistency and they see you showing up. And when you don't leave, then they realize, oh, maybe she could help me.
That it's something that is a lifestyle, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Jen, anything to add? No? All right. No pressure.
No, I don't have any words of wisdom.
Ready? I mean, hopefully, like I said, what?
No, I was just gonna say I feel the same way as Jamie and Emma and you, of course. It gets frustrating when people complain about wanting to feel better about themselves and want to be healthier, and so you give them the solution, and then, like Emma says, they flake out on you, and it can just get really. That's part of the reason why I've just kind of taken a back seat, because it beats you down, and I was annoyed by people. But I think too, you make a good point about, because I've been coaching for 5-6 years ridiculously, and I had somebody was like, oh, I didn't know you do that, and I'm like, do you not get on Facebook? Do you not get on Instagram? Like, I don't and it was somebody like in my circle. It wasn't like 3 like, oh. So I need to do a better job of like sharing things, I think, and maybe talking more in my stories and letting people know what's happening. But yeah, it was kind of like a eye opener.
Maybe there are people like me who like Kelsey's pregnancy announcement and don't realize it's a pregnancy announcement. She didn't read the caption.
Later, you're not the only one. Trust me. Like even today, we're like 4 days removed, and I still have people like, oh my gosh, just saw your story from yesterday or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
I just thought it was about Bo.
Someone else messaged me and said, oh, are you getting another puppy?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Not quite.
No, thank God.
I feel like kids are easier than puppies, just to let you know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Unrelated to what we're talking about. Yesterday in my story, Bo chewed apart like one whole corner of his bed. Mind you, I've already patched it like 4 times. And he ripped out all the stuffing. And my first thought was, an infant will not do this. Like, it will not chew through a corner of its bed and rip out all the filling. Like,
I don't know.
They might chew on the bed though.
The toddler might.
Yeah, not at 5 months old. My goodness. Oh, anyway, okay. Anything else to add before we close it out here, guys? If not, totally fine.
I just want to show everybody my new water bottle.
Whoa, how many ounces is that?
It says it's 8 cups.
Oh, wow.
I got it from a patient, y'all.
64.
Oh, how nice. See,
Isn't
Mom,
that so sweet? I almost cried.
Aw.
She gave me like a whole bag of goodies, but and yeah, so y'all should bring goodie bags for your nurses because they really, really love it so much. Okay, but yeah, I thought this was so awesome. I was like, oh my goodness, it's like she knows me.
I love that. Wait, I'm bad at
And
math.
I guess
8 cups. How many?
I guess like
64.
8 times 8 is yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
8 ounces in a cup. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I did think about that though. Yeah, so
Dang, that's a lot. I would drink like one a day.
I mean, look, it's
Oh my word for scale.
yeah,
Jeez. Unreal.
pretty cool.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
that
thank you
was
guys for jumping
my
on.
happy.
I don't know if this time will work for at least the summer. Jen, I know you are not, teaching full time right now. And Jamie, I know you've got stuff at the business and stuff going on with Onyx and all of that. Emma, your schedule changes like every day. So we'll kind of play with it, but I don't mind this like early afternoon time. It works for me. And then I'm not like, trying to stay awake. So, cool. All right. Well, sounds good. Hopefully again, this was helpful. And if you're watching the recording, it is posted on YouTube and in the team page, and we will see you guys soon.